Hi, and welcome to your Urban Connection. I've got a show today that I want to share with you all, and I think you'll find it interesting. But we're going to talk about the new kid on the block in Trump's Washington, D.C. administration. But before we do that, let me remind you, ladies and gentlemen, about one of our sponsors, Barbecue Express, 6249 East 21st Street. Okay, this is a full service barbecue restaurant, and I want you all to uh, experience what they have. And here's the place of business, and the location is 6249 East 21st Street. And like I said, they are a full service restaurant. It's not a drive-through. You go in and sit down and enjoy some of the best barbecue in town. And that includes ribs, brisket, hot links, smoked turkey legs, and much, much more, along with all of your favorite side dishes. Now, I want you to keep this in mind. Coming soon, and I mean very soon, is fresh fried catfish. Yes, you heard it right. Fresh fried catfish is coming very soon to Barbecue Express, 6249 East 21st Street. All right. So make it your business to go in, get acquainted, taste the food, and I'm sure that you'll be happy for what you found. I'm sure you're going to enjoy the taste, and I'm sure you'll be happy to return with family and friends. That's Barbecue Express, 6249 East 21st. Open 11 to 7, Monday through Thursday, 11 to 8 on Friday and Saturday, closed on Sunday. Okay? Okay, now let's get back to the program here, because I want you to, uh, okay, I want you folks to understand that this program is about Donald Trump's Washington, D.C. And I want to say this, that I want to say this to uh, Senator Tim Scott and Congressman Byron Donalds. Move over, fellows, because there's a new kid coming to the block. And let me show you all who that new kid is. The new kid that's coming on the block is none other than Kansas' own Patrick Penn. Now, Patrick has been a state legislature in Kansas since, for I believe, the last 4 years. Okay? But he has been picked by the Secretary of Agriculture to be the Undersecretary of the Food of the USDA, put it that way. He'll be over food, nutrition, and other agenda items in the USDA. And that's in the Trump administration. Now, first of all, ladies and gentlemen, let me say this. I'm quite surprised of this appointment, because you, like me, I'm sure, will remember that it was Donald Trump that has been so adamant over the last year or so, and in particular the last 6 months, about DEI hires. And he's been against it. And so one has to wonder, what the hell's going on here? The question is, what qualifications does a representative, he's still a representative until June the 13th, what qualifications does Representative Patrick Penn bring to the USDA table? Now, maybe there's something that I don't know, because Patrick Penn has refused my request to join me for this podcast. When I say refused, basically he did not return my call and my invitation to him. So that leads me to wonder, because he's not said anything publicly other than the fact that he has been appointed to this position. He's not mentioned what qualifications that he has that would make him qualified. But that doesn't surprise me, because Donald Trump has a cabinet full of people that are not qualified. All those people could be considered DEI hires. And these are names: Pam Bondi? Well, maybe. But the Department of Defense Secretary? No way, Jose. Okay? You've got so many people in this cabinet that have no idea what the hell they're doing except being a yes man to Donald J. Trump. And if that is the qualification, and it appears to be, that is needed to get appointed to one of these positions, then Patrick Penn is your man. He's your man. Okay? Now, here's the deal. Patrick Penn is going to Washington. He's not there yet, but he's on his way. But I want you to listen to what Patrick Penn said upon his announcement that he was going to the new job at USDA. I mean, tell me if this doesn't sound like Donald Trump. Now, let me get this other photo up here, because I want you to see this. I'm going to tell you exactly what he said, and tell me who it sounds like. So here's Patrick Penn making his announcement at the when they were picking his replacement at the precinct committee meeting here just on this past Wednesday. And Patrick says that he's trading in his job in Topeka for Washington, D.C. as a Trump administration appointee. He says he's ready to make a couple of people cry in his new job overseeing nutritional benefits programs. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know about you, but when I hear that, sounds like he's out for retribution. Is that not what Donald Trump is all about? He says that they're going to break a couple of eggs and make some omelets. What does that sound like to you? Okay? So if these are the qualifications, then he's your man. He's telling you he's your man. He's demonstrated as a member of the Kansas State Legislature that he is a MAGA, deep, committed MAGA supporter. Everything he does and everything he says leads us to believe that. So, Senator Scott, Congressman Donalds, move over, because there's going to be a new kid on the block. And you don't have to train him. He already knows. The only thing that you have to do, Senator Scott and Congressman Donalds, is to educate Patrick Penn to who the real Donald J. Trump is and what he's all about. You have to educate him about what a user and an abuser Donald J. Trump is. And in particular, when it comes to Black people and Black men. Now, you guys know better than all the rest of us. You've been dancing. You've been prancing. You've been skinning and grinning, doing the shucky ducky, all of that. And where the hell has it gotten you? Where has it gotten you? So you need to educate Patrick Penn because he's apparently unknowledgeable. So Patrick Penn will now be leaving Kansas with a state legislature that has, on the Republican side, a lily white roster of mostly old white men. Throw in a couple of women, white. Okay? So they've lost their token black on the Democratic side. I'm sorry, on the Republican side. The GOP is lily white. Now I must tell you that Mr. Penn's wife, Talia, had placed herself in a position and tried to be his replacement for the remainder of his term. But she was denied. And they asked her one question: what are your credentials? Now I'm assuming this now. Let me tell you, I'm assuming this. But when she said she was a member of the Kansas African American Affairs Commission, they said, oh, no, hell no. Do you mean the Kansas African American Affairs Commission under Laura Kelly? The one that does nothing? The one that offers no benefits to African Americans throughout the state of Kansas? The one that is in violation of non-compliance of the state statute regarding the Kansas African American Affairs, that Kansas African American Affairs Commission? Hell no. Well, sorry, Miss Penn, but we're going in a different direction. Okay? Now, it's not unusual for the wife of a legislature or a husband of a legislature or any political candidate to seek to serve out the term of their spouse. It happens all the time. But in this particular case, the Kansas State Legislature was having none of that. None of that. So, you know, it's just very interesting. And I want to tell you a little bit more about what Mr. Penn had to say. See, Mr. Penn will become the Deputy Under Scretary for Food, Nutrition, and Consumer Services after he officially resigns his legislative seat on June the 13th. You see, that's why I say he is still a legislator. He has not resigned as of yet. He's announced his resignation, but he will be there until June the 13th. And as I told you, his wife had sought to serve out the rest of his term in the Kansas House, but she was defeated on the second ballot on Wednesday evening's special election by Steve Brunk, a former state representative who retired several years ago. Now, only Republican precinct committee people in House District 85, and all of those people are white, were allowed to vote. After the vote counting was done, Penn took to the podium to explain his new post, saying he was recruited by the Trump administration in February. Now, I did have advance notice that he was under investigation and was being vetted for a position, but I was not sure of what position that it was, so that's why I have not said anything prior to this. But here's the deal that makes him a prime candidate, and I can understand why they would seek him out. Here's what he's done before. Here's a statement that he made. He asserted without any evidence, as they all do, including Mr. Trump himself, that billions and billions of tax dollars are going to benefits for non-citizens and people who are terrorists. Where the hell is the evidence, Mr. Penn? Be specific. Don't just repeat the talking points that are provided by the Trump administration. That doesn't set you apart from any of them. Now, he says also that many able-bodied people are gaming the system to receive benefits they don't qualify for. Such as, Mr. Penn, I and we are waiting to hear. Who are those people? Bring some evidence. Bring some names. You make a statement, sir, back it up with evidence. According to a 2024 report from the U.S. Government Accountability Office, an estimated 11.7%, or about $105 billion of SNAP benefit payments were made improperly in 2023, meaning they were for the wrong amount or otherwise should not have been made. Federal SNAP spending totaled $112 billion in 2023. Now, here's another thing that qualifies Mr. Penn for Trump's loyalty program. This spring, Mr. Penn voted for a bill that would have required Kansas to seek a waiver from USDA to prevent people from using SNAP to purchase candy and soda. Governor Laura Kelly vetoed the bill, and although the Senate voted to override it, the House did not take the matter back up, and Kelly's veto was sustained. Now, Mr. Penn said he wants to see the federal government take the initiative and place new restrictions on what underprivileged people can buy using benefits. I don't want you to have to pay tax dollars to have people buy sugary drinks and sugary foods and have childhood diabetes, and then have the same people on the left come to you and say, hey, you need to pay for their expanded Medicaid coverage so they can pay for that diabetes treatment. You know what? First of all, Mr. Penn, I want to say two things to you. You, as a congressman, are paid with tax dollars, and you and all of your fellow representatives use those same tax dollars to buy all the sugary drinks and all the candy you want. Why should these recipients of SNAP be any different? And secondly, sir, you talk about those people coming to the taxpayers asking for money for the expanded Medicaid. Sir, you, better than anybody, should know that you and your fellow GOP representatives have voted against expanded Medicaid in the state of Kansas every single time that it's come before you. So get out of here with that empty talking points that you and your fellow GOP members and Congress members and cabinet members of Donald Trump's cabinet use to lie and spread disinformation about the use of SNAP benefits and the use of tax dollars for expanded Medicaid, because that is not happening in the state you currently represent. But I understand where you're coming from, Mr. Penn. I fully understand. But it is like I said, sir. Move over Tim Scott, Byron Donalds, and make way for the new kid on the block, the latest DEI hire by the Trump administration, even though they want to take to task Target, Walmart, Costco, Ford, John Deere, Harley Davidson, and a host of other companies if they don't get rid of their DEI programs. This is just another one of the contradictions that Donald Trump and his administration makes on a daily basis. What's good for us is not good for you. Okay? All right. Good luck to Mr. Patrick Penn. And as I say, congratulations for your appointment, sir. I hope that you enjoy your time between now and the election in 2028. Because I'm afraid that after that time, you'll be looking for a new job. Because you will have a new president. Okay, folks, that's my show for today. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.